We finally have another trade to talk about. I feel like this trade deadline week has been one of the more quiet deadline weeks in recent memory, but this trade that we have to talk about is involving everybody's favorite team, the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, I think we all kind of expected Vegas would be extremely active at this year's deadline, given the fact that Mark Stone is going to be out for the rest of the regular season. He has been placed on LTIR, and the Golden Knights used up a good bit of that cap space today, trading a 2024 second-round draft pick and a 2026 fourth-round draft pick to the Washington Capitals in exchange for winger Anthony Mantha. The Washington Capitals are retaining 50% of Anthony Mantha's cap hit, so he's on the books for Vegas at just $2.85 million. That basically cuts their cap space in half. They still have a little under $3.5 million to work with. If we've learned anything about Vegas over the years, they are likely going to use that in these next couple of days. This isn't a massive trade by any means, but I think it's notable enough to make a video on, and given the fact that Mantha spent a lot of years early in his career with the Red Wings, he's a player that I know a decent bit about, so kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts here. First off, before we talk about this trade for Vegas, let's talk a little bit about the deal for Washington and the return they got for Mantha. I feel like if you're a Caps fan, you really can't be mad at this. Mantha is a guy, I said this in yesterday's Deal or No Deal, that last year was probably viewed as a negative asset, and Washington probably would have had to attach a draft pick to Mantha just to unload his contract. For whatever reason, Mantha's first few seasons with the Washington Capitals were a disaster, and it got so bad at times that he was even healthy scratched. Luckily this season, in a contract year for Anthony Mantha, he has regained his form a little bit. He's got 20 goals in 56 games, which is second on the Washington Capitals this season. If Mantha is on his game and completely invested, the Vegas Golden Knights are getting a very good player here. And I say completely invested because he's a player who's had his work ethic put into question in the past. He was actually a healthy scratch at times for the Red Wings, even when he was one of their top line forwards and producing like a top line forward. The reason for that is because his play at times seemed pretty lackadaisical, and I think Washington Capitals fans can probably attest to that as well. He's streaky, he's inconsistent, but again, when he's on his game, Mantha is a very strong winger. Throughout his tenure with the Washington Capitals, he's been playing bottom six minutes for the most part, but he's a guy in his past, again referencing his time with the Red Wings, who has proven to be able to produce in a top six role. I feel like a lot of fans view Anthony Mantha as a power forward just because of his size, but that's really not his game. He isn't entirely physical by any means. A lot of the bumping in Anthony Mantha's game comes with his puck protection down low in the offensive zone. He's a very strong player on the cycle, uses his body extremely well to protect the puck. He's hard to knock off the puck. He's got a good set of hands for his size, nice finishing touch around the net, and he's somebody with a pretty heavy shot as well, which is useful on the flanks on the power play. Mantha is a 3-time 20 goal scorer, including this season, but in his career, he has scored at above a 20 goal pace more often than he hasn't. I'm really interested to see where Mantha ends up slotting in the Vegas Golden Knights lineup. I think this could turn out to be a really massive get for them. You have to imagine Anthony Mantha is going to be heading to Vegas motivated. This is a guy who at 29 years old has only played 11 total playoff games in his career. He's never made it out of the first round. This is definitely going to be Mantha's best opportunity to win, going to the defending Stanley Cup champions. If Mantha comes as advertised, I think Golden Knights fans are going to really like him, and in my opinion, this is a really strong ad for Vegas, and it's also a trade in which they didn't have to give up a first-round draft pick or one of their top prospects, which is always nice. So that is going to wrap up this quick video breaking down the Anthony Mantha trade to Vegas. As always, I want to know what you guys are thinking, especially if you're a fan of either team involved, the Washington Capitals or the Vegas Golden Knights. Sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. If you guys enjoy these trade breakdowns and you're excited for more as we get closer and closer to the deadline on Friday, then be sure to leave this video a like. That is the best way to let me know that you enjoyed. And most importantly, if this was your first time checking out the channel and you want NHL content just like this all year round, hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you all again soon.